day. From First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, it's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports. And the Cleveland Browns taking on Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans.
We're in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They're halfway home, looking good, at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Texans offense going to go to work, and it is Deshaun Watson at quarterback.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
On 1st and 10, Watson. That's caught. It's Bryan Edwards. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And he'll look underneath here for Edwards-Helaire. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Edwards-Helaire. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd.
A shotgun snap for Watson. He'll get this one to his tight end. That's Jason Kroon. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one a first down pickup of 8.
First down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. To the air yet again, Watson. Open man is Kroon, the tight end. That catch good for only a couple. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
At the 39-yard line. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's
throwing on 3rd down. Watson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Golden. The 20, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air, They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Jones on the return. The Texans take over 1st and 10.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told him, they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Looking for Parker again, and this time he's got him. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a first down throw. Watson. Short pass complete to the tight end Kroon. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Now a dump off here complete. Takes this to the 45. Got a little space after that nice move. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Faking the give. Now Watson. Now he'll escape to his left. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Watson off play action. His throw incomplete.
Watson's pass.
Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
To throw again, Watson. Short pass complete to the tight end Kroon, and they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And this will be caught by Edwards. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 22-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Watson. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack.
And it's 3rd down. 3rd and long.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Round 7, Texans nothing.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, here's Watson. And it's caught by Parker. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll run with Edwards-Helaire. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now Edwards-Helaire. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Operating from the gun, Watson. The Browns D locked in on 3rd down, brings up 4th. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Sanders' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
Texans 3.
Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out, their quarterback in his 5th season now at 6'4". It's Jeff Driscoll. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. They run again on first down. Peterson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
That run is what defenses don't like about dealing with Adrian Peterson. His ability to drop his shoulder and run through contact.
And he's amazing at keeping those strong legs going, isn't he?
For him, no run is ever truly over. I mean, he's actually not even convinced that when they blow the whistle, he's actually down. That's how he finishes runs in a big way.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
2 more yards.
A good pickup there, a 22. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
Made at the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
From the 24, Driscoll. He'll drop this down to Peterson. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
12-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And 3.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jimmy Graham, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns add on to their lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Koo now for the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Jones on the return. The Texans take over 1st and 10.
Houston set to take over. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Incomplete. Coverage on the play by Kyle Fuller.
Back to the air. Watson on 2nd down. That to his running back, Edwards-Helaire. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. He's going deep for Brown. That's caught inside the 20. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That's one heck of a third down conversion, a pickup of 39. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Flushed out right, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing again on second down. Watson, and it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal. They'll try to run with Edwards-Helaire. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Until that late score here in the second quarter, they only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone. Yeah, when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half, but when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as the head coach? What? I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
25-yard line.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Brought down back at the 19-yard line.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start with one of the toughest rivalries of this or any other week. Pittsburgh playing host to Cincinnati in the AFC North. And it's the Bengals in control at halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Cole Beasley, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. As you can see the score there in the second quarter. Cortland Sutton, a touchdown catch in that first half. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
From the return, the Browns take over first and 10 at their own 24.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half, they give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. Sanders now to add the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
On the return, the Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Julio Jones, 76 yards. And once again, the Browns are back in front. They had just given up the lead, and they get it right back.
Yeah, how about that? Answered quickly. Got right back to it. And look, long drives have their place. We know that. They can wear teams down. But when you hit them with big plays like that, that can really be a shot to them. A big-time one.
Yeah, one play, but now your defense is probably saying, man, we could have used a little more rest over here. And he'll bang that one through. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see. Just one play resulting in the touchdown. Kick this one away, and off it goes. Now this will make it into the end zone, and he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And now out comes Houston. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 13.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down, right around the 18-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Field goal coming from Younghoe Koo. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3.
Makes the score Browns 24, Texans 17.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 27-yard line.
Here's Edwards-Helaire. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up
from the gun, Watson. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Now Brown. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
On first down, it's Peterson. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And now this pass brought in by Brown. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 25-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Tackle by Jordan Willis.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the Texans' 24-yard line.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Driscoll, quick slant to Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll look to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Deron Payne able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't. And a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
On for the field goal. A 34-yard attempt.
And this one is right through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10.
The score, Browns 27, Texans 17.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
25-yard line.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And right away, he'll look to throw.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Marcus Golden, too much to handle that time, gets the sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
getting the sack. They'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Another try after the 1st down sack. Watson. And he'll look underneath here for Edwards-Helaire. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
Out of the gun, Watson. And that's knocked away and incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
4th down.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Julio Jones once again the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Peterson. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Oh, no, he lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Recovered by Houston.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Houston set to take over. They trail by 2 scores in the 4th, and their defense did its job getting the fumble recovery. A time to see what this offense has left in the tank. A shotgun snap for Watson. That's complete to Gallman. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time. All right, it's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
The Texans on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
They're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Operating from the gun. Watson over the middle. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Watson now to throw.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Throwing again is Watson. Looking for Parker again, and this time he's got it. And he's got a first down following a pickup of about 13 as we will take a pause here for the 2-minute warning.
Houston.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Oh, no, he lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
Watson on the keeper.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll try and wind down some clock with Peterson. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run again with Peterson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Peterson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Cleveland, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll get another home date next week as the Eagles will come to town. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.